It is about you. You are the selling point, and the landscape is changing. So be your authentic self, because no one wants to go to work being miserable all day. Look at your own resume, look at your own LinkedIn, and look at your impact and what you have provided for that other company. And if you write things in that context, you're going to talk to the next employer.
In my opinion, it's about giving the customer what they really want and just blowing their mind once they get it. And that's what I really love to see, honestly.
Get people to do more of home cooking, home cooked meals, healthy meals, so we can all live long and happy.
I'm very proud to be a mom, because not for nothing, women are amazing.
Oh my God, the sacrifice, and how we make it look so easy.
I was just telling Joanne before we got on the call, I said, I had to run from my daughter's school. They had an Easter egg hunt. I said, all right, Mom, I gotta go to work. But, you know, just as moms, we make it happen, you know, supernatural abilities. We are the example for them, you know, and I know that with them being a better version of us.
You have to try. You never know how creative you are until you try. Because I didn't think I was creative. I found my creative side during a horrible time in my life.
Hello. Welcome, everyone. Happy Thursday and Happy New Year. It is the new year. I hope you all had an amazing celebration. Yes, I'm still in my Kwanzaa celebration mode and my Christmas celebration mode, probably until about February. So you're going to see this background for a little while, because it is my favorite time of year. I am grateful to be in the new year. It's 2025. I woke up this morning, y'all. We made it. That is the two presents that I am glad to say that I received, which is life and more abundantly. So I am here on today, this Thursday. We have a very special guest. This year, we are going to be starting the year off with focusing, some dedication, some intentionality for the year. And we are starting it off with the principles of Kwanzaa. So this year we are going to be, each month is going to represent one of the principles. And I know there are 7 principles in 12 months, but we'll finagle it and you'll see how that comes out a little bit later. But this month we are going to be focusing on Umoja, which is unity. And my first guest for this year is my sister and friend. Now, we have known each other for a very, very, very long time. We have admired each other from afar, with how both of us have maneuvered our family lives and maneuvered community work and maneuvered our entrepreneur life. And we continue to touch base and to high five each other. And I don't think we had ever met until maybe a couple of years ago. But I would always say, that's my girl. Like, that's my home girl. That is my girl. And then I joined a program, and it just so happened that it happened to be part of her family lineage. And we have been connected and connecting more and more on a deeper level ever since. So let me tell you a little bit about who I'm talking about. Kimberly Gaffney, a dedicated business owner. She's an event planner. She's a cake artist. She's a graphic designer. And I'm going to put ... because there's a whole lot more. I'm going to let her tell you what the ... are as she is stepping into her 2025 this year. With a creative and strategic mindset, Kimberly has successfully built and managed her own business, blending artistic talents with entrepreneurial expertise. Known for her attention to detail, and she very much is, her cakes be banging, y'all. Her innovation, passion for design, Kimberly excels at curating unique and unforgettable events, whether crafting stunning cakes, designing eye-catching visuals, or planning seamless events. Kimberly's ability to deliver exceptional results has established her as a respected leader in her industry, and I'm glad to call her a friend. And she's one of our Juneteenth Advisory Board members. representing our Black Kings. And we are going to be talking about today celebrating unity for the new year, honoring Black Kings and building a stronger community. So I'm going to welcome Kimberly to the stage. Hey, hey, hey.
Hi, Athenia. Happy New Year.
New Year's. How's everything going?
I am over here living and loving life. Grateful to be walking into the New Year times too, because it is my birthday season. So shout out to all the Capricorns in the building. I'm a proud and true and through Capricorn. And all those things you just said about me, only a Capricorn could do. I'm so glad to.
I said multiple hats you do wear, and just saying backstage a little bit. So tell us about what do you have going on? Like, what is in store for the new year?
What is in store for the new year? Honestly, I'm trying to just slow down a little bit and get into the world of making residual income from my businesses, where I'm not going out there and working so hard physically for my money. We have truly been tricked into slaving for ourselves. Entrepreneurship is wonderful. It's fun. I've been doing it for 14 years, and I truly love what I do. But my body is catching up with me. I'm getting grown out here. I turned 46 in 2 days. And 46, Megan stole my knees. I decided to have a toddler during the pandemic, and I have a 3-year-old running circles around me. So I am looking to move Farrow Roof Productions, which is my event planning and coordinating business, Kim Cakes, partially printed parties, which is what I do, graphic designing and parties in a box and all these wonderful things. I'm looking to move all of that stuff into the digital realm and hopefully be able to create revenue and streams of income through my years of experience and start teaching and guiding others to be able to do the things that I have done and make myself some money while I'm in my bed still laying with my 3-year-old, because this go around, I really want to enjoy motherhood. I hustled and bustled with the first set of kids, and that's how I became an entrepreneur, because going to work, the job didn't respect me and my life as a single mother. And to walk in a job that I was truly dedicated to and get written up every day because I was 5 minutes late. And I have a special needs child. I'm a special needs mom. I have a daughter that's 19 years old with credit and also autism. And her original diagnosis of credit is so underrated, I'll say underrated, but it's so not typical. Like only 50 people in the world get it a year.
Wow.
And it's so unknown is the word I was looking for. It's so unknown that it was very difficult for me to get help with her. It wasn't until she got the autism diagnosis, and she was about maybe 8 or 9 years old at that time, that I truly started getting some assistance from the government and this to get help, like AIDS and things like that. So for the first 10 years of her life, it was me and her and my sons trying to navigate life with a person that requires all your assistance.
Wow.
I was running a business. I was going to work, and my job was just not understanding of what my life looked like. My life started at 4:30 in the morning every morning, and still does 19 years later. And it's been a gift because I get up at 4:30 in the morning and I'm up with my daughter, but I'm also navigating this business world. But by the time it came time to go to work and things, and I'm waiting for school buses and things like that, I'm 5 minutes late and I ran 4 red lights, and thank God I didn't run nobody over to get there on time. It was chaotic and crazy, and God gave me an out. So I just thank God for blessing me with gifts and talents to move forward. So many things to come. That's the short version of the long story.
Well, that's such an inspirational story because, you don't look like what you've been through. You have definitely, I would have not known all of that. I mean, we have had conversations with just sharing all of what it is that you have done and what you continue to do. And your story, your why, that is so important. And I always share with people, especially when I do coach them, I'm like, you have to share your why, because that is what is going to connect people to you. So many people who are probably like you, who are like, yeah, my child has something that is rare and nobody is talking about, and there's no resources, and I have to do this and I have to do that. And yeah, the jobs don't understand me. And you were like, God made a way. And I'm sure when you were going through it, you wasn't initially, it wasn't like, oh yeah, this is going to be the big ticket item from here.
Nah, I had no idea. It was a little cute hobby that started from helping my girlfriends celebrate memorable events. The first one was a bridal shower, and my friend had went in Party City and bought every tacky thing you could buy. I mean, she had Fiesta, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, and was like, "This is my bridal shower. Hook me up." And I was like, "No way. Just give me the receipts. I'm taking it all back." And that event, the people were blown away. I was even blown away by my own self. I remember that event very clear because I had found these hat boxes, and I transformed those hat boxes into an amazing bridal shower. And right after that, another friend, my best friend at the time, she was having a baby. And her sister was like, "Oh, I got $800." And I was like, "Give it to me." And she was like, "I'm not giving you $800." And I was like, "Give me the money so I can make this fly." She was like, "You don't know what you're doing." I was like, "Trust me." She was like, "You know what? I don't even want to do it. I don't have the time. You take care of it." And when I tell you, I hooked that baby shower up. And as I was preparing that baby shower, it was a gallery themed baby shower. So I had some pictures of the couple with my BlackBerry phone out on the water. And I had their pictures blowing up at Walgreens and all this cute stuff. And I made a slideshow with my PowerPoint. And at the end of the slideshow, I was like, "No, I'm starting a business. This is a business." And I was like, "What am I going to name it?" And I was like, "What inspires me?" And first thing that came to my mind was my daughter, Farah. And the second thing that came to my mind was my grandmother, my mother's mother, Ruth. She helped raise us. My grandmother loved her girls. She would say, "My girls, my girls." And she put so much love, energy, and effort into allowing us to become who we wanted to become. Like, she really believed in our dreams when we was little girls.
I love that.
We had computers. We had, like, it was the 80s. So we had a lot of things that other kids in the projects didn't have. We had computers and we had encyclopedias, and she was nice, just nice things. And she was the grandmother, not the mother. She filled in for us. So truly, I could not do my business without having her in it, because she embodied everything I thought a woman should be. She just was, I never saw my grandmother buckle. She just stood strong. She was a little thing, little like me. She was little. We 5 feet tall. We little girls. And
oh my gosh, that is such a blessing. Just hearing you talk about, first of all, the whole, and I'm sure it was like the dial-up, right? The AOL dial-up.
We didn't even have that then. It was like, what do they call these things? Parentheses, print, line 10, parentheses, and then you would type your words. It was a Commodore 6400, and we wasn't even at AOL yet. This is how ahead my grandmother was. You remember when we used to run those little tickers off, and you would make like little characters out of all of the characters on the computer? Oh, I made Snoopy look bad, boy. Let me
I can only imagine. Oh my gosh, the pure joy that I'm sure people experience. I mean, and I feel like we were able to be a little bit more creative, like the tactile creative. Now it's like we got to pull magic tricks out of
this endless ribbon of colors. And we go back, Athenia, to when it was very simple. You know where we met? I know where we met. We met in the balloon store on Avenue S. Remember Randy used to have that balloon store?
Yes.
He gave you and I a short class on making the swirls.
To make the two.
Yes.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
We exchanged numbers that day, and I started following you on social media. And like my family, you were connected by family through Eve.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Oh, that's my cousin." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." And exactly how you said, I admired you from afar. I just thought you had so much grind and hustle. And I was like, dang, she's bad. You would twist those balloons up, and you were doing balloons fly long before they even knew balloons was fly. Because I remember at that time, they were like, "I use so much balloons." And I'm like, I love balloons. So for it to be the staple of the parties now, it cracks me up. But that's where we met.
Oh
And
my
then,
God, I remember that moment. And I'm like, the fact that you even remember that, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I don't even remember so much. But yeah. Oh my
I
gosh. And
remember that because I immediately started following you. And you, at that time, event planning was not what it is today. It was a very few of us. It was a handful of us.
it was.
And it was not cookie cutter. It was not copy and paste from the internet. It was your own true and blue through creativity.
Exactly.
And you were very creative, and I loved watching you create, and you inspired me a lot. So it was very easy to remember you. How can I forget you when you're inspired by somebody like that?
Oh my gosh, look, you never know who you inspire with the things that you would do. And that literally was just being me. I was just trying to figure it out myself too.
Girl.
Similar to you, I think I had a horrible pregnancy, and I had just lost my job. And my god brother, he was opening up a club, and he was like, I need you to, he's like, I need somebody to just be there because I'm not trying to leave my 9 to 5. And I was like, well, I ain't doing nothing now as long as I can bring my son. And he was like, fine, whatever you got to do it. And I was there, and I made this whole situation. So I was like, everything for me was like a theme. So I was like, oh, we're gonna have a Valentine's Day. So we were setting up by, and she's like, oh, we could do I can make this look pretty with balloons. And I was like, you can make it look pretty with balloons, like some loose balloons. She's like, no, I do designs and stuff. And I was like, okay. So she came and she said, I'll just do a setup if you let me, and we'll go from there. So she did this setup, and it was all these columns and arches and all these different things. And I was like, balloons do all of that?
Girl, we didn't know.
And she taught me, and I took it from there. And that was like, okay, God, he moved in mysterious ways, because I had no idea that I would be into balloons. Because creative is, thank you for saying that, because I was like, I'm creative. Even now, people are like, oh, you're so creative. I'll be like, no, I do logistics. I make sure the timeline is straight. I make sure people is there. I tell you the budgets. Like, that's me.
That's creating, though.
But so we live and learn in the different spaces, and I feel more comfortable with being creative in spaces because people have poured into me and be like, oh, this looks amazing. I'll be like, oh, it does? Okay, well, let me try it again, or let me do it.
Yes.
But definitely I was about bringing on team members who were more in that artistic space and who could do that. And like I said, I've seen you doing your cakes, and and now that you mentioned that, I'm like, yeah, I would see you with your cakes just the same, and I'll be like, oh, she doing some dope stuff. Oh, that's cute. I'm like, oh, let me see if we can get you some gigs. Let me try to connect. Yes. I think we had done a couple of things together, but it was, again, like I said, it was one of those, like, we never really got to sit down and just be in space with each other.
But you know how we got in space with each other completely? It was my cousin Shawnee, like you said. You guys are connected through whatever million things she does. Be the Tree, Aria. I don't know which one you connected with her through, and all her means and stuff. But my family does the Madam Walker Tea Party that we do. We were doing it every year, and we fell off during the pandemic. But it's this huge tea party where we have 300 women present, and we honor the people in our community, quite like we do with the Juneteenth event. And Shawnee came and she was like, Athenia, Rodney, we have to nominate her. I don't remember what category you got nominated in, but I was like, oh, I like Athenia. And I'm like, I know her. And I was like, Shawnee was like, you know her personally? I was like, no, I know her from the internet. That's my sister girl from the event planning world. And she does this. And I was like, oh, and she does Juneteenth. I was like, you brought Juneteenth to my eyesight. I never knew anything about Juneteenth. It was through your organization that I became familiar with Juneteenth and that celebration. I'm an Emancipation Proclamation girl. My other grandmother on my father's side, another great dope woman that raised me, she was a civil rights activist and all things Black community and raising the people up and being aware of who we are and carrying ourselves a certain way and being pride, having pride and dignity and respect. And not just pretending to be what we are not, but truly embodying the things that we say we are. And every year on January 1st, we got savings bond for $50. Shout out to my GG for all those savings bonds, because at 46 they starting to ring up some dollars. And we got it for the Emancipation Proclamation, because that was the official day that the slaves got freed.
Yes.
And my grandmother from Bogalusa, Louisiana, and my grandfather from Gaffney, South Carolina, a generation away from slavery, first college students and their families, a chemist and the lead nurse, you know, they were very adamant on us knowing our roots and knowing our culture. And when I saw Juneteenth, I was glad to see other Black people celebrating African American history, because it's very much underrated and very much not talked about. And people downplay who we are. And I was told I was awesome and amazing my whole life. And that I come from an awesome and amazing culture. And I have two sides of me. I have the Black side of me that owned property, my mama, she and my poppy, but I also am a project girl too. I'm from the hood. And I have a little bit of both, but you can be amazing from either side of the game.
Exactly.
And I think that's the part that they don't like to tell us.
I agree. And this is why, for me, why it's so important to highlight Juneteenth. And, you know, it just Juneteenth for me, it was really just a day that I was putting together to highlight people like yourself, like vendors that I partnered with. I was like, come out, put your stuff out, let people sample, because people were always coming to me and they're like, oh, you know, I got to sample a cake. I got to sample a food before I, you know, this then. When they didn't trust event planners, I'm like, look, you gotta trust the event planner to do what she says she's gonna do and just go with it. But back then, they wanted to try everything. So I used to set up all of these sample sessions and stuff like that. And I was like, why don't we just put it all together on one day? Let's make it a big festival. Let's have stuff for the kids to do to keep them occupied so the parents can engage. Let's have So I'm putting all of this stuff together. Did not know that it would end up the way it is now. It was literally just a day where I was like, let's celebrate our Black businesses and
my gosh,
try out businesses. So we had businesses of all walks of life and all kinds of things. From we had the hair products, the body butters, the candles, because it's like these are things that could be your gifts. So that was my thought initially, and then 2021 came, and it became a national holiday, and people was calling me crying, girl. You made me learn about Juneteenth way before I even knew anything. Like, you know, everybody thought it was me. They was like,
first of all, girl, yes, we did. We like, Athenia did it. Shout out to all the Juneteenthers in the world, but for us that know you, you are Juneteenthers. So girl, you would. That day was as good as Obama getting, look, in my head, crowned president, right? And I was excited, and your name is the first name that came to mind when I heard Juneteenth became a national holiday. People like you, we thank you for your service and your due diligence for showing the world the importance of our culture. And this little thought, I went like this a little while ago, because your little thought, as you would think it was, because it wasn't a little thought, I don't mean to undermine it, but your small thought in your brain became something national. National. That, do you know how big that is, girl?
I'm taking it in each and every day. Trust me, every year when we get around Juneteenth and I start getting, I say my 15 seconds of fame, when all of these press and people start reaching out and they want to do interviews, and they're like, I just sit in it, because I'm like, I know it's not going to be, I know this is short lived. I know this is just for the moment, but look at God, look what like you said, like, grew up on public assistance, like been in the shelter for more than half of my life as a child. So like I understand, and I've seen that. And then to be on the other side and to be like, this is what you can do, and to be able to bring that to our community, like that has been such a labor of love for me, because I'm like, we have to see ourselves, just like you said, like we don't have people telling us every day like that you're beautiful, you're amazing, that you're great, you can do it, like you anything you put your mind to, you can achieve. that doesn't happen often to us. And instead we get you're a child of a slave, or you used to, we used to hang people like you, or, you belong in jail. Like, those are the things, or y'all are drug addicts, and all of those, like, those are the things that I heard consistently growing up out in the streets.
It's the only thing we saw.
My grandparents, like yours, they poured into me. They were like, God is who is going to get you to the other side. God is going to take you, to carry you.
Yes.
That's why some of my Harriet Tubman is my favorite ancestor, because I'm like, I embody so much of her and who she is, and how she that being politicking at that time. I'm like, could you imagine being a person who just ran away from slavery and made it yourself free, and now you politicking with the white folk like you supposed to be there?
That somebody gotta be that somebody. Somebody has to be that somebody. Thank you for embodying Harriet, like leading the way, leading us through the tunnels. It's getting brighter for us. It's not so dark anymore. It's getting brighter. We're out of the tunnel and we can see the light, and it's a little overwhelming. But, as our eyes open and adjust and set, I just look at all the young people that are like, I recall in the last few years, right, having to talk to my soul, right? Because sometimes you get in an age group where, like, it's like, okay, I'm not young like that anymore. And you see the young people doing things that you so desperately wanted to do, and you wanted to do it, but it wasn't an opportunity there. But then I had to remind myself, you don't have to be jealous of young people. You set the tone, you led the way, you helped start the movement so that there could be a ton of young Black women entrepreneurs. Yeah. I really had to sit myself down and honor myself for who and what I am, because sometimes, because you don't make the big dough, or like, I make money, I make a nice amount of change, right? But it hasn't been enough to get me out the hood as a single mother. It has sustained life. I have sent my children to college. We eat, we are comfortable, we live a nice life. But it's not that big Willie life like you see on Instagram and stuff now, and they jumping out the gate with contracts and deals from businesses and stuff, and you're like, dang, I've been here for 14 years. Like, hey, see me with my 3,000 followers, how they got 50K. But you have to remember that there was a time that nobody was doing it, and somebody had to lay the foundation and toil the soil so that seeds could grow. And I'm grateful that I've been a part of my seed sowing and growing for the future generations. And I'm just so happy to see so many of us out here free from the chains of job bondage and making our own money, and that we know it's possible, to do that. And they've seen people like you and me do that. And other, we know a whole community of people that have been there for the long haul and the long run. But I'm just really grateful to see our young people, and even people in our age group and above, thriving and making strides for the Black community of all, American, Afro-Caribbean, African, all the Black people across the world, right? I'm so glad to see all of us doing amazing things and getting these shackles off that belong to them other people. That's not ours.
I totally agree. And you said so much about just how we are embodying and being the future. That is the number one thing for us, especially those who have children, but just be an example for our kids, because they're not getting education in school. And then that's kind of where I've been in the space of with Juneteenth now, and how pivoting and using Juneteenth as a umbrella pillar to really talk about education, to talk about our history, and to bring that forth. But I know, like you said, in this culture that we're going into, I have to rely on our young people to make it fun and to make it engaging and make it entertaining, because we don't. consume it if it's boring. We don't
No.
consume it if it's just a panel, if it's just a talk, just a conversation. We have to be lit. Like we got to, like
I
you
need
said,
big energy. I need big energy.
and I think that is click so well because we both have that big energy. We both have heart for our community, for our families, and all of those things. And even more so, I think just even to go back to unity and what we're here to talk about. This is totally not scripted. Like this was all impromptu, y'all. This was not like we had a whole plan and totally went off. But God divine, He directs us the way our paths.
Yes.
So I'm here for it and appreciate the conversation and how it's been flowing. But we definitely connected on our idea of our Black men, right? Our Black kings. 3 years ago, we started this portion of the Juneteenth because I have a husband, and just to see how men are treated, even my grandfather, like I feel like they were never given. Like my grandfather died trying to make my grandmother happy. Like everything he did was to make sure that she got to live the life that she always wanted to live. Having a house, having a Lexus car, taking her on trips and doing all that other stuff. We later found out the bills were untountable, and it was crazy because he didn't have the support. He didn't have the support that he needed to make sure he was doing things the right way. And so we ended up having to lose the house that he had worked so hard for and so much other things. And so it just got me to thinking, what can we do as Black women to be able to pour into our Black men? And as I asked them, they would share, well, we don't... We're always being, we're always being written off. Mother's Day would come around and it's like, oh, if you're a mom, it's like, no, even if you're not a mom, happy Mother's Day. And I'm like, no, that's how it goes. But then when it comes to Father's Day, it'll be like, if you're a good dad. I'm like, okay, how we go? Mom, you're happy Mother's Day. If you're a good dad, then you get to say Happy Father's Day to them. We're always doing men disservice. So I wanted to put something together to really highlight them. And I did not know what this feat would entail. So the first year, it really was just like relationships, and people who I knew, people who were doing an amazing job, who had helped you the first year to just get where it needed to be. And then you came on second year, and I mean, last year blew my mind. Okay, so
Black Christmas was amazing last year.
I came in and I was just like, oh my gosh, like this vision that you all created, the thoughts, the conversations, and we planned this year round, like for the entire year, y'all. It's amazing that we just say 30 days before, like this is what we're gonna do. We are planning year round. So I want to pass it to you, and if you could share what is the inspiration for this year's, or have you guys come up with the thought of the design spectrum? Because last year we did,
and that would be hard to outdo last year. Last year we was like, it was such an amazing event last year, and it was almost impromptu for me and Inez, who became like this dream team to work together. Shout out to Inez, the girl with the best ASK muscle in the world.
My ass muscle was on 10 million. I was like, she had God's blessing, because she was like, all right, hold on, let me go out there and figure something out. And she would come back. She was like, all right, I got somebody. I'm like, oh,
yes. Okay. With her ass muscle and my creativity, and we co-collaborated so well together. Very similar types of crazy girls, and like everything is possible. And the things that I didn't think was possible, she thought was possible. And the things that she didn't think was possible, I thought was possible. And together we conspired and created a beautiful gala for the Black Kings of New York City. And the mission this year to me is to just push it towards being the cornerstone event of not only the Juneteenth event, but in New York City for Black men, who we are, as we were saying, are just so under honored, so, just not valued completely. And this event, to take those principles, if you don't know, the awards are given out based off of the principles of Kwanzaa. So to take those principles and choose men that fit the criteria of, now y'all have to forgive me because I'm new to Kwanzaa. I'm a Kwanzaa baby, right? I'm getting all my Black training through my Juneteenth affiliation. So I'm loving all the new Black girl magic that's getting added on to me because I didn't always have that. We was some Christian Christmas celebrating Easter egg hopping people, right? But I always heard about Kwanzaa and wondered what it was about. So I'm so glad to just be a part of it. So can we go over the principles, Athenia? Just so that people know what the men are getting honored in. I'm pulling it up on my screen. I took a lesson this year from a sister named Dina on Kwanzaa while I was doing one of my events. And she, over at the Laundromat Project, she showed me some Kwanzaa stuff. So, Emoja, that's your business name also, right, Athenia?
That is. And that was.
Am I saying it right?
Umoja.
Umoja. So that's unity.
Hold on. Trying to pull it up on the website. Share screen. I got all these screens. So all right, here we go. All right, there we go. So this is on our website. So we had the principle. Go ahead. I
can't see your screen, but I'm gonna read from mine. I'm gonna go Umoja, which is unity. Fuji Jakalia, right?
Yeah.
Self-determination. Ujima. Collective work and responsibility. Ujama. Cooperative economics. Nia, purpose. And Kuumba, creativity. Imani, for faith.
You got it. Go ahead.
That's right. Was my pronunciations on point?
You did your pronunciations. Go ahead.
I did not know at Christmas time I was preparing for this because it has been my mission for the Black Kings Committee to learn the principles and to know what we are awarding these men for and pronouncing these words properly and not doing a disservice to the meaning of Kwanzaa, and so that the men are properly highlighted.
Yeah.
In all its grandeur.
In all its grandeurs. I love it. And so we wanted to, and this was also even just incorporating the principles of Kwanzaa into the Black Kings, because I really am, just like people are like, you put Juneteenth on the map, I'm like, all right, Kwanzaa, the next one on the map.
Yes, let's put it on the map.
So by us sharing and talking and highlighting, I used to, my best friend, Siobhan, she's who got me involved with Kwanzaa, and I've been celebrating Kwanzaa, I don't even know, maybe now over 22 years or so. Every New Year's, her family would get together and they would have like games, and they would encourage us to learn. And then we would be there and they were like, okay, well, how are you going to celebrate Kwanzaa throughout the year? Or how did you celebrate it throughout the year? And I'm like, I didn't even think about it throughout the year, to be honest with you. And that was the pain point for me, because I'm like, if this is something that we should be trying to embody in our spirit, then why am I only thinking about it after the day after Christmas? And for that 7 days, and then once the new year hits, then I'm not thinking about it again. So I really wanted to find ways that we can incorporate it in our everyday life and really highlight so many parts of it. And so being able to utilize it for our Kwanzaa principle. Even this past weekend, we did a Kwanzaa event with Queens Inc. Girls.
Nice.
The Queens Inc. And they definitely did an amazing job. They are doing the same thing for the females. Well, theirs is not specific to males or females, it's general. But for ours is just focused on the males. And the first year that we did it, we put together this to kind of talk about some of the different people that we're looking to have for Black Kings. Who in the community do you think would embody these things? Unity, Umoja recognizes an outstanding change agent or serviceman that is bridging the gap between the community and their peers. Like, who do you know in this world that is doing that? Well, not in this world, but New York City, the tri-state area. Try to stay a little local. People have been like in our ear about we gotta go.
Make it a national thing. They've been asking. I've been getting calls. Can I nominate from another state? Like, if you ask me, I'm gonna give it a big old yes if they want to travel to New York City. But I'm not. I'm just the lead on the Black Kings. I'm not the lead on the Juneteenth. We have to ask Athenia this thing here, so I don't know. But
God
people want to be down. They want to be down like Brandy.
We're definitely, God is opening doors, and you know, we started local because I wanted to make sure that those who were local were being recognized, because a lot of times the same people are always being recognized, and then people are always like, well, why do you have so many kings that you honor? Because we honor anywhere between 21 and 28, so about 3 to 4 people per festival. And people are like, why so many? And I'm like, if I was brought on stage and I was given the award, let's say the Umoja Award with Oprah Winfrey, I would be so in awe that somebody thought so highly of me to be in the same caliber of someone like that. And so when we do our award, I always encourage our team to choose 2 people who are that high C-suite level caliber, and then 2 people are up and coming, so that they can be in that space and they can be encouraged and they can network with someone. And like, we got this award together. Like, oh, what you do? And I think 2 years ago when I saw that, I literally was on stage the whole time crying because people was like, oh yeah, we gotta connect. Like, you doing this. Let's put some of our resources together. Like, this is exactly what community
creating pathways of success, like, and continue connections. That's so important. That's so important. We got to keep reaching back and pulling forward with each other. So that's definitely, Black excellence.
Black excellence.
It exists, and it definitely exists in our men. We have, as Black women, we have to uplift them and recognize all the their contributions to our world.
Indeed.
So many successful, amazing Black men out here doing amazing things within our communities. And it's not just the ones we see on the TV.
That part, those that are not on TV, those who are doing some amazing things and they're not being seen. And this is that space. Like, we really just want to highlight them. I don't know if we want to go through all the rest of them, the differences. I think the collective award, Ujima recognized an outstanding community leader who has made a significant contribution to solving a community problem. Purpose, like you said, the NE award recognized an outstanding mentor, father, or father figure that has reached to their purpose. Like, that is so important, because we have so many men out there that are being father figures in other people's households, and we want to recognize those individuals as well. Recognize the designer, architect, or artist that has impacted the community. So talking about that creative bone, because we have a lot of them.
So they are fashion designers, they are event planners, they are chefs, they are writers, web designers. There's so many Black men doing amazing things in every category we can possibly think of. They're so much bigger than the corner boys they tell us our Black men are. We are
that far.
Some fly Black men out there. I love me a Black man. You love you a Black man, girl.
I love me a Black man. And I got 3 of them in my life, my 2 boys and my husband. So I definitely am all about that.
I am a boy mom too. I have 3 amazing Black sons, Black kings. One I named Prince because I just was like, you know what? Let's go for it.
I love it. We have Determination Award, Kujijaka Leah recognizing an outstanding leader that continues to use their voice and influence for community issues. So someone like elected officials, people who are activists, people who are making a stand for the community, for people.
Yes.
Economics Award, recognizing outstanding business owner that has grown their business while supporting other community businesses. It could be someone who might be work at a bank or something like that, or someone who, and they come, like you said, they reach back, they come back into the community, they do things to support and the uplift of the businesses. And of course, faith, which is the cornerstone of everything that we do in the Black community, right? Who is a leader, impactful. It can be and it doesn't have to be a pastor. It can be anyone who is faith-based or faith-led. And it doesn't have to be in a Christian faith. We open to other faiths and all of those things as well. But I definitely wanted to share on that. And I think I wanted to show also some of the past members that we had.
Okay, let's talk about these brothers.
So this is some of the Black kings that we had in the past, y'all, that have graced our stage and been honored for what they do. So we have Jude Bernard. He is actually in Bed-Stuy, do or die. He has
shout out to the star.
And he is a realtor. He does a lot of investing. He actually donated some toys to our toy giveaway this weeks ago now. And he loves giving back to the community. He is a beautiful soul. We got to go on, I think it was Channel 5 Night News or something like that. And we were just chatting and talking up. So it was great to have. We have Kels Barnett. He's the owner, and he's a Harlem. He's in the fashion. He actually just got his doctorate degree.
Kels Barnett.
So he does murals out there. He does some really, again, amazing work in the community. Again, another underrated person. We have Chi Osei, who is our council member. And he's another person that has been just out and about, like I see him with the people like that. He's not just in the office and talking, like he's on the streets and he's learning, he's engaging with
interacting. Yes.
Learn what's going on. We got Sean Williams. He's the founder of Dad Gang. Now this dude, he's a down to earth. He how we connected one year, we were at Prospect Park and he was doing a rally at the foot of Prospect Park, and we were doing a march for Juneteenth, and he was there and we were there, and I was like, yo, we got to connect next year. And so he was like, yeah, let's connect. And I was like, I went through his background, and I was like, oh my gosh, he is going all over the country doing dad gang rallies where he's getting a bunch of dads, a bunch of influencers, and they're bringing their kids out and they're doing
I love that
march with their children outside. And that has been just so amazing to see. Even hearing him have conversations talking about like, I'm, as a Black man, as a Black father, I'm going through things, but I'm still present. I'm still here.
Yes.
Like, encouraging men to stay present in their child's lives, even through whatever challenges they might be experiencing.
We are not a fatherless community. We have gang in the building.
And then
Daddy Collective. I love it. I'm a daddy's girl. I love a good daddy, baby.
That part. And then Cottrell Lewis, he's the vice president of Habitat for Humanity. It's a nonprofit organization. So like, as you can see, we have had some really amazing
figures in our community.
In our community we've been highlighting, and we're looking forward to doing the same. Kimberly, you want to tell them about when the deadline is and like what the process is for nominations?
So it's very simple to nominate a king. You're going to go over to juneteenthny.com/black-kings. It's going to bring up our beautiful, pretty website. At the very top, you will see a button to donate. We will be happy to receive a donation to the Black Kings event and the Juneteenth as an overall experience. And then when you scroll underneath donate now, you will see the nomination button where it says nominate a king, right? Mm-hmm. Click on that nice little yellow nomination button there. All right. And then you're going to insert your information first, who you are, your email. And then once you do all of that, you're going to click over to the next page and you're going to put in who you're nominating.
Let's see.
Yeah, hook us up.
Let's see if I can do it. I can't spell my own name.
It's really simple, and you can do it on your cell phone. You don't only have to do it on a computer. I've done it on my cell phone also. You can do it on your cell phone, but make sure you leave us your pertinent information so we can get in touch with you, so we can get in touch with the king that you nominate. Leave your email and your phone number, right? Once you do that, you're going to click over to the next page. Make sure you click to get our newsletter because you want all our information from Juneteenth so you can stay abreast of what's going on in the Juneteenth world because we are active all year. So then you're going to go over to the nomination process. So first, you're going to put the first name of your nominee, last name, all that good stuff. Maybe I should bring it up on my computer so I can see with you also.
Okay.
Instead of trying to squinch my little eyes. So next is the nominee's date of birth. That's not mandatory if you don't have it. What is mandatory is we need the nominee's email. We need the nominee's phone number. We want to be able to reach out to these men and make sure that they know that they are going to be honored. And if we don't have information to contact them, we can't honor them. Last year, it was a good couple of brothers that we did want to nominate, and we couldn't because we could not get in touch with them. And it is 2024. Everybody got 6 ways to get in contact with you. So
that's right. And we could not connect with people. And then we even had somebody who came even after they were nominated, and that broke my heart.
Oh, that killed me. I want to throw those guys back in the nomination pool this year. I'm like, what happened?
I totally agree.
Professional Black people, we have to do better, and me included, about checking our emails. Email is a thing. We hate it, but it's a thing. It's a big thing, especially if you are coming up to be to somebody into somebody's world. So check those emails, people, at least weekly. All right. Juneteenth has made me on my email mission because
your email game.
yeah, because I'm like, did you text me? Did you call me? I'm like, no, I emailed you. I'm like, who checks email? Like, it's obsolete. No, email is very pertinent.
Oh my gosh. So we have then once you put in all the information, we want you to nominate which area you think, and
choose wisely.
Yeah, and you can choose a couple of different areas if you feel like they embody that particular area.
Right.
As we will identify people based on the categories. So definitely if you have some categories that you think the person should be in, include them. And then when we get here, what's this part?
So then you should be inserting why, I believe that's why you're nominating the person, and then their bio also. Or video. So you have the option to insert why you are nominating a person. I personally have been calling up my nominees and asking them to send me their bios. And or I haven't even I've assisted a king or a nominee or two to writing their bio at this point now, because that's something important to have and we don't know that. So getting these bios inserted into that area there, or why you want to nominate this person. That's if you want to do it manually, if you don't like being seen on the screen. But if you don't mind being seen, you can go to that second box, I believe, and you can record a 2-minute video expressing why you think this person should be nominated. Tell us all the great and amazing things they do. Don't forget to leave information about their social media so we can stalk them a little bit and know so much. The more we know, the more likely they are to get chosen, because then we can see everything that they do. Just because you nominate somebody does not mean they get picked. So do your due diligence in serving us the information about the person you're nominating, because you can't go, Kai Jones is great because he owns the store on my block.
Yes, please don't, because we had
people so much more than that.
Or some people just put like, "Oh, he's great. See, look at their website." We get so many nominations, y'all. Like we get a couple of 100 nominations, and we have to go through that in a week, 7 days. We have to go through all of them. So if we gotta go and we gotta play pet detective,
we're not gonna do it. We don't mind looking. So again, I said share their social media, right? Because I do want to see the person in action. If you gave me a story that I want to know more about this person. Like I want to go in depth now. But if you, again, just make him a store owner, we're happy for Kai Jones and his ability to open up a store of his own, but that is not enough to embody being a Black king. A Black king is a person that is a cornerstone figure in our community. They represent Black excellence. They are driving and striving for a better future for us all as a collective. And we're grateful for every nomination we get. But if you want to see your person truly get thought about and as a possible win, give us the information so that we can truly pick the best kings in the tri-state area, to be at this gala. And then January 15th is our deadline for nominees. So on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, that's an easy day to remember, right? Because that's like the first Black day they gave us in America to truly embody. Like January 15th, a day of a Black king, is the last day you can submit your nominations, right? This is not like the job with transit. If you are number one on the list because you applied sooner than later, you are more likely to get picked. That is not how it works. If you nominate somebody on January 15th and they are truly and duly qualified to be a Black king, we are going to crown them on June 12th, 2025, a Black king in whatever category they fit. So I look forward to reading about all these Black kings. We have had quite a few come across our desk already. Myself and Taisha, that is my co-lead in this event, and the entire Black Kings Committee. We are so excited to be choosing the 2025 Black Kings in the next few weeks.
Most definitely. So we are coming to the end. This was such an amazing conversation.
Can you say one more thing before we end about Black Kings?
Yeah.
Guys, buy tickets to this event. It is the premier gala for Black excellence in New York City.
Yes.
It is going to start off the Juneteenth celebration for 2025. It's going to happen at the Major Owens Center in the Betty Carter Room, this grand and beautiful ballroom where we are going to turn up, turn out, celebrate like our African ancestors want us to. And we're going to put on the best of our best. We're going to be beautiful. The news is going to be there. It's paparazzi. We're going to celebrate these Black kings. And we're going to have this amazing, phenomenal time. And tickets are on sale already. If you want to purchase a table for your family. Bring your friends. Bring your community. Let's show the world that Black excellence exists.
It does.
And let's support our brothers. Let's lift them up high, because the men are our warriors and they are leading the way. And ladies, if we don't lift up our men, then we don't have any strength behind all the things we are doing. We, as a Black collective, have to get together and do better things. And we want y'all to be in the park with us on Saturday, but we want y'all to be with us in the ballroom on Thursday. So get your dress shoes and your hair done and your nails done and everything did, because we turn up and we turn out. This is not a stuffy event. It is a fun event. It is very much a great time. And you see me and Athenia, ain't nothing boring about the two of us. So if you know, like I know, buy a ticket, encourage the people you work for to send a donation on behalf of the companies that you work for, to buy a table and to send representatives. If you can't afford to buy a table yourself, we all work for these big companies. We give them our hard work and labor every year, all year long. Make them give back to our communities, y'all. Make them buy a table. We have tables where they can get highlighted as a business that supports Black efforts and the Juneteenth movement. And I'll see y'all there on June 12th, 2025.
And we are a 501c3, so people can match their funds. They can get it as a tax deduction on their on the end of the year. Look, just do it.
Do it.
Definitely do it. We also have our journal that is that goes out to everyone. We have 25,000 people in our email database. So if you want your information, your business to be, and it's $50, like that, you spend that at lunch on a day. So definitely we encourage you to utilize the platforms to support Black and I have something that I'm working on for, we got this project 2025. I'm working on my own project.
Okay.
we will come together and support each other a lot more, and in a realistic way, not just the hey, let me buy something from your business kind of way, but really how are we helping to elevate each other and literally lift each other up instead of being on the top and kicking the next person down. I mean, we're seeing it right now with the whole, and don't want to throw names out there with the P Diddy and the and how all of those names now are being pulled out the box. Like, that's so unfair.
Yeah, it is terrible.
Again, all of our Black men are being pulled into spaces and they're being torn down. So we do have to do, like, this is so important, that what we're talking about and what we're doing and how we continue to lift up our men. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you so much, Kimmy, for and just having this great old conversation and kicking off the new year like it's like it's 2025, because it is.
Can you believe that? Oh my, it's amazing.
I'm grateful for your partnership. I am grateful for your brain, because I love it, and just being able to have people in a space that challenge you and challenge each other to be better is what we really need. So thank you again. I appreciate you. Please go out and sign someone up. It doesn't cost you anything to do that before January 15th. So thank you. Have a great one, everyone. Bye. Where's the closeout?